You are secretly a prostitute who afforded uni that conceals your identity as a YouTuber. Which one of y'all leaked my OnlyFans? Hey you, it's Katie you, and we hit 300K! Oh my god. I literally can't believe it. To celebrate, I thought you guys could get to know me better and we could clear up a little bit of misunderstanding, some assumptions that y'all have about me. I'm nervous. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to submit all of your spicy assumptions, and today I'm going to be debunking them or confirming them. Just wait to find out. And obviously, I would not be here without you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking by me. To honor this beautiful friendship and community we have going on, stay tuned at the end for a giveaway. It's the least I could do to thank you all for continuing to support me. So without further ado, let's get into it. You are less funny in real life. Okay, roast me right off the bat. Let's freaking go. I feel like I'm not even qualified to answer this question. I feel like you should ask my friends, because how the frick am I supposed to know if I'm funnier? But if I had to answer, I would have to lean toward you are correct.
That is correct, shorty.
Every time I post a video, it's been heavily edited and vetted by me to be as entertaining as possible, to keep your attention as long as possible. In real life, I don't have the tools of editing to lean on, so I would assume that I am less funny and less entertaining in real life. Yeah, I take this roast. Your roast is correct.
That is correct, shorty.
Somebody thinks I'm a real life princess, but your parents are teaching you how to live normally first before you take over. You know, funny enough, in second grade, I lied to my entire class that I was the escaped princess of North Korea. Bruh. And because I was royalty, they all needed to bow down to me. And so I made my entire second grade class bow down to me on the playground. And then that night, my teacher calls my parents and she's like, is this a matter of national security? Like, should we be concerned you are harboring and hiding the North Korean princess? And you best know, when my parents hung up the phone, they turned to me and I was spanked into oblivion. You are a party goer and a heavy drinker. I'm actually allergic to alcohol. Yeah. And before all y'all Asians in the comments are like, that's BS, you probably just get Asian glow. Like, no. It's way worse for me. The moment I take even a tablespoon of alcohol, I start getting a splitting headache. I get hives all over my body. I fall asleep. I need to be taken home immediately. And this condition is actually genetic. My dad kind of goes through the same things. After I entered the college scene and I quickly realized like, oh, this is not how alcohol is supposed to feel, I quickly abstained and I have not touched alcohol since I'd say freshman year, first semester. In terms of party going, I would say I was a party girl up until the pandemic. You could catch me at any club dancing until 4 a.m. until the clubs closed. And I did all this sober. Like, I really loved the vibe of going out and dancing and feeling the music in your bones, but not anymore. I have become a total grandma. My ideal Friday night is curled up in bed with a Kindle, so people can change. I got a lot of submissions saying that I emit bi energy, asking if I'm bisexual, and sorry, I'm straight. There was a period, I think, freshman year in college where I was deeply questioning my sexuality because I simply was not vibing with any male that came my way, and I was like, what if I've been looking at the wrong demographic this whole time? Like, what if that is the reason why? But no, it just turns out that my standards for men as a freshman were trash, and I have improved my standards, and now I have confirmed that yes, I am straight. But power to any bi woman out there. You did not care at all about your outfits and fashion before you went to college. This is definitely true, and I would even argue in college, I did not care. It was actually YouTube and you guys giving me a platform that made me more well-versed and obsessed with fashion. The fashion niche kind of fell into my lap as an accident and a miracle. My dark academia lookbook kind of blew up, and I was like, all right, we're gonna become a model now. And honestly, if I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret, when I first started making fashion videos, the people who were my friends in college before I blew up on YouTube, they would swipe up on my stories and be like,
bitch, you never wore this. Like, stop lying.
You were in leggings and athleisure literally all the time, and they are correct.
Correct, shorty.
It's honestly kind of proof that if you do anything every single week for a year, you become good at it. So even if you're not fashionable right now or you don't consider yourself a fashionista, So it's never too late. I was not somebody who was sewing garments and doing DIY projects when I was 15 years old. I started this when I was 20 and I'm obsessed. So it's never too late to find a passion. You wish to marry soon. We're gonna table that for at least a decade. You were insecure about your Asian features in middle school. Facts. I'll tell you even the most minute story. I used to go by my Korean name, which is Lena. So my Korean name is Yurina. In early middle school is when I told my parents, Lena is too ethnic. I want to go by a whiter name. And so I switched to Caitlin, which became Kaiti, and hence now I'm Kaiti Yu. It's one of my biggest regrets, honestly, because I do think Lena is a much more unique name. That is the extent to which I wanted to be whitewashed when I was young. And it goes without saying that that self-hatred extended much beyond my name. It extended to my physical features, my cultural elements. There were many, many times where I felt very inferior to my white classmates growing up. I think a lot of people of color go through this when they are young because of the whitewash Eurocentric beauty standards, but what really got me out of that hole was just seeing more Asian American representation on media and really leaning into that. And then once I was able to find myself in a more diverse high school and more diverse communities in college, I am so lucky to have made it full circle and be so proud of the flavor that I bring to whatever community I'm a part of. You have controversial opinions that you don't want to share online. Doesn't everyone? Regardless of what your opinion is on anything, I think the one thing that we can all agree on is that humans love echo chambers. We are also biologically wired to be tribal beings. That's why we watch sports, that's why we get into fandoms, and that is why also humans get into wars and get into fights on social media about politics. And so, yes, I make sure to toe the line very carefully ever since being given a platform. You are not fluent in Korean. I'd say this has to be true. Korean was my first language because my grandparents raised me, but then I started going into the US school system and it kind of faded. But with that being said, it's on my bucket list to move to Korea for like at least a year and fully re-immerse myself and force myself to become fluent again, because this lack of flavor, this lack of fluency, this lack of cultural appreciation, it will not stand in my household for much longer. Okay, so I'm working on it. This is also an offensive one that I got so much of. So many people said you low-key cannot take spice. Who do you think I am? This is one of the things that my friends say I need to work on, because when I cook meals for them, they almost cannot eat it because it is so spicy. So I'm quite the opposite, but I'm in the process of cutting back my spice levels because yeah, it is not good for your stomach linings. You don't exercise to maintain your physique. I work out every single day, but with that being said, there are certain aspects of my body that are genetic, and I will just come out and say it like it is. I don't have to work for them. For example, my stomach, my ab area, that is straight genetic. I barely work out my abs, but I've had abs my whole life and I get that gene from my mother. It's definitely a very gray area, and I also do think my relationship with nutrition, fitness, physique, it has been a tumultuous one. I don't think I've ever fully talked about it on my channel, but trigger warning, about to be a little bit more vulnerable here. I definitely struggle with body dysmorphia and a myriad of my own eating disorders. None of them too serious, but it is something that I am now opening up to with my therapist, and we are working through it. And I think this might be the hardest thing that I'm going to have to unlearn. Your family is crazy rich. Funny, crazy rich Asians. This cannot be more false. My parents are both first generation immigrants growing up. We lived so frugally to the point that even though my disposable income has become larger, I still very much struggle to spend any of it because I'm so used to that scarcity mindset of save as much as you can, as much as possible, because you don't know. But yeah, no, we are not crazy rich Asians of any means, but the movie was still great. You reuse your lashes longer than you should. Yes. One of my first videos on this channel was how to make your lashes last forever. If that's not enough proof, hey, I haven't gotten a style yet. You don't like Marvel or DC, basically superhero books and movies. Honey, do you live inside my brain? Because you are correct.
Shorty.
Cancel me in the comments, go ahead. While I try to understand the hype, I don't like how every conflict in those superhero movies is resolved by,
Oh my god, I have a better power than you that can absolutely obliterate you, but I didn't use it back then when my side was almost dying, but I'm gonna whip it out now because the plot just makes sense for me to like absolutely crush you.
I feel like I receive much more gratification when characters are able to come to resolutions and new evolutions through deep reflection and introspection and an actually realistic solution. But that's just me.
That's my opinion!
Ooh, this next one. People are gonna come for me in my Asian card. You prefer Mediterranean food over Korean food. How did you know? Don't come for me. Yeah, Mediterranean food is my favorite cuisine. Don't get me wrong, like when I spend large periods of time away from home, I do get very, very nostalgic for Korean food, but it's definitely something that I don't actively crave and seek out like a lot of my Korean peers do. You went to Brown University to fulfill your need for academic validation. You got me there. Growing up in an Asian immigrant household, it is hammered into you. I remember being told at 5 years old, if you get into an Ivy League, I will buy you your favorite car, which at that point was a red punch buggy. And guess what? No red punch buggy in sight. So I was freaking bamboozled. Anyways, yeah, I can't 100% say I went to Brown because I knew from the depths of my soul it is what I wanted. It's because of my upbringing and how much weight gets placed on academia in these immigrant families, that was definitely a huge factor in my decisions. You're more outspoken when making videos than you are in person. This is also yes and no, because to my closest friends around me, yes, I am much more reserved and introverted, but I'm very, very good at putting on a persona to the wider circle. And so most people who meet me for the first time in real life think that I am an extrovert. But I'm not. I really gotta retake MBTI because I'm no longer an ENTJ. I think I'm at least an INTJ. You have gone through a heartbreak that has changed the way you view and approach romantic relationships. Y'all going in. There's parts of my life that I'm not comfortable sharing online, but I am more than happy to always share my introspections and reflections after the fact. Yes, I have gone through a heartbreak that has absolutely changed how I view love and romance, but I wouldn't ever say that it's soured my view of it. If anything, it's taught me that love is something worth fighting for, and in order to experience that mind-blowing love, you have to risk heartbreak. Your plan was to pursue a 9-to-5 office job, but you won't do that anymore after college because you have YouTube now. Yeah, I'd say this is true. I don't think I'm ready to shut out the possibility of an office job, but that's definitely not my only option anymore. And that is solely because of you guys and all the love that you guys have shown me. And so again, I'm forever grateful that your love and support gives me the option to choose. With that being said, that is all the assumptions that I have. You have made it to the giveaway portion. As a little token of gratitude for absolutely changing my life and turning it upside down, I'm going to be giving away 5 $100 Amazon gift cards to 5 people in the comment section below. You can be US or international, but do keep in mind that Amazon is not super well established in every single country, so keep that in mind if you are an international viewer. With that being said, all you gotta do to enter this giveaway is follow me on Instagram and TikTok, as well as comment down below which assumption in this video shocked you the most about me and your Instagram handle so that I can reach out to you. Winners will be announced at the date on the screen because I haven't decided yet. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you so incredibly much. I pinch myself every day that I have so many of you guys rooting for me, and I am rooting for you guys as well. I'm so glad that we could spend another Wednesday together. I will see you next week. Bye.